Hello people and welcome to watch another World Team Carcassonne Online Championship match. This will be the final match of Saturday of the week 2 of season 6 of the group stage, and we will be watching the group C match between Mexico and Portugal, in which both of these teams have actually started off with a loss. So Mexico losing against Romania 3-2, and Portugal, I believe, I can't say for sure. No, actually, I can't say for sure. It was against Ukraine with a loss of 1-4. Ukraine, who I believe should be considered, at least in my mind, to be the favorite to win this group due to their unprecedented amount of talent within the team. Now, everybody else, I'm not sure. I mean, they are pretty much going almost hand in hand with each other, so I would not be surprised to see every single team like at maybe 2 wins at the end of the group stage. Not sure if that's entirely possible, but we'll have to wait and see. And you can see the lineups just above me. So on table 1, we have Lidio Gutierrez, that's Legit a Killer, versus Paulo Livreiro with the screen name D-ism. On table 2, Marco Rivas, that's manarori, versus David Ventura from Portugal under the alias of Mestre77. Then on table 3, we have Vapula 27, Rafael Garibay versus Ricardo Araujo of Portugal under the alias of Sportr. On table 4, Elias Mochan versus Guilherme Neves. Guilherme being, of course, the Portuguese player and Elias on the Mexican side. And then finally on table 5, the 2024 World Championship Mexican representee Oscar Henny, that's IMD5, versus Pedro Antunes with the alias of phoam going up against him. Now, I would be expecting a very, very tight match here, considering that there might not actually be any players that are less than 500, or at least, let's say, 450. We could actually make that check right away, and indeed it does look like that, well, since the last check of the ELO rating update, then every one of these players is indeed 500 or 600 rated. So we should be having a very plentiful, talented match here. And honestly, I can't be really expecting a 5-0 here, unlike in some of the matches that we have seen today. I would be more leaning towards a tight 3-2 or max 4-1. But if 5-0 occurs, I will certainly give a round of applause for such achievement. I wouldn't exactly say that 5-0s are expected to happen at all in Group C, given just the caliber between every single team. Now, if you do want to see a specific duel or a game, then do let me know in the chat and we will accommodate your needs as best as we possibly can. we will be starting off with who do we actually start off with? Let's start off with table 3 with Rafael Caribe and Ricardo Araujo, and then we will move on from there. We should be starting the matches in about minute or two max. And also a reminder already that tomorrow is going to be fully packed with action. Amongst other matches, there will be tomorrow Ukraine-Thailand as well as Romania-Lithuania, so a lot of Group C action. And we will be streaming both of those matches tomorrow, as well as Australia-China in Group A. And we will be ending the night or the evening with Poland RCP of Group B. So a lot of skillful action to be followed tomorrow. And a lot of skillful action to be followed today. So Vapula is the first on the scoreboard with a 3-point road and an attack on the city. Ricardo responses with a 2-point road, standard stuff, and a lot of crossroads going out already, with a 4th crossroad to be taken by Rafael. And yeah, this certainly might not be the best of games regarding the road potentials, especially if you are not making a simple 4-point loop road, given the already used up crossroads. Like if you start a road, for example, over here, you might be waiting for quite a long while. Which is why I wouldn't even actually meeple this road as Vapula, and he does not. Simply makes a 3-point road, or yeah, an incoming 3-point road available to be taken next to the monastery, and nicely developing it. And Vapula now has a chance to go over here actually, and then get a Dorito, and then a triple city, and get away with a rather nice sizable city early on, but decides not to go for it. Instead, simply 1 point on the monastery, and a juicy road monastery to follow. Being able to stack the monasteries, of course, is a wonderful, wonderful thing to be able to do. There's a bit of harassment of the city by Rafael, adding a triple city to the 1-pointer and trying to hinder the completion chances, and maybe was even trying to direct the city upwards so that it would be tied to the monastery as well. Though with 3 daggers remaining, I don't see why you would see all that effort, because the block would be, I want to say, somewhat unlikely to happen in the first place. So Vapula with now a 3-point road, which is actually slightly frozen until he finds a city tile to accompany his city on this square, but that quad city might actually change a lot due to this city maybe not being as important anymore because it is way more difficult to actually complete. Sportr. With a straight road, not all that much to do here, but he finds some. But he finds a great use for the tile. So prepares a platform to attack this potential 8-point city, and also prepares a platform over here to start blocking these two monasteries. So the ideal scenario here would be if Ricardo gets his hands on a triple city with a field, places it over here, and then he has laid down a potential curve place over here, and then it will be a blocked two monasteries for the price of really three small value tiles, which is plenty of value to be gotten from those, but in just a different way. Hello, P-Chan, nice to see you here. I assume you're rooting for your own team, though maybe though I think there are some scenarios where where we might see surprises. Both players are Rafael. I might have slipped it maybe one or two times because both players are starting with the same letter. Maybe that could be a factor where potentially I might accidentally call Ricardo as Rafael, but I will try to avoid that from becoming a habit. So Ricardo gets out with the 8-point city and starts a new one. Also could have gone over here and dropped a farmer, but given that uh, uh, these meeples are not like really in danger because they are both tied together, then it is much better to simply take out your own meeple from the face of threats and live to fight another day. Maybe find another divider over here and do the same thing later. A somewhat clunky tile for Ricardo actually, but uh, does find a use for it. So ideally you of course want to take quick points with the road end tiles, but unfortunately for Ricardo, no quick points were really out there to be taken. Of course there was this 3-point spot, but this would then mess up with his city a lot and make it almost entirely blocked already. Oh, but there was actually, yeah, of course, there was actually this spot as well, which he could have easily done. Not sure why he didn't. Actually, not sure at all. But he does get the block going on nonetheless. So now there is a 9-point monastery spot waiting, where actually, I mean, technically a 9-point monastery spot, but it's not, though. It's only 9 points for Vapula, but meeple in this monastery would come at the cost of a blocked meeple because this same square is of course tied to the future monastery as well. So it is not entirely given that that either player will be meeple in the monastery, even though it is a nice chunk of points. So it's going to depend on whether there will be any significant fields and whether the meeple minority slash majority is going to play a crucial factor. But so far, it looks like Vapula could even meeple this monastery, because it's simply 16 points for these two monasteries that he would be scoring at the end of the game, and 16 points for two meeples is, you know, pretty decent. And besides, there are no real other uses for a monastery anyways, which makes me think that Rafael should be going over here, because you do have features over here from which you can get a meeple back. And having the meeple disadvantage, I don't think it's that bad at this stage. Yeah, he does go for it. I would have also understood it without the meeple, because it's one meeple back to each other, to both players, and just an extra point for Vapula. But yeah, this is probably what I would have done. So now I think we have a chance to actually threaten the uh, the eventual completion of this city. Maybe go here, or maybe go here if you want to be like, or try to be extra efficient. This one, nah, not really liking it. It doesn't bring that much value. It brings 2 points, which you could get by adding the Dorito here anyway. Like, sure, it does prevent the divider from like not being able to be used over here, but even if it would be, it's like not that bad. Also, Ricardo had another spot for the divider anyway. Completing a 10-point city and starting yet another one. And surprisingly, actually, you don't see this as often as you might imagine, but Ricardo, with 30 tiles remaining, has 6 meeples in hand and only one in play, and it's not even blocked. Like, every single meeple of Ricardo is live, and thus it certainly makes me prefer red here a lot. Also given that he has an 18-point lead on the scoreboard, like despite yellow having 3 monasteries, which score at the moment 21 points, and well as this for the road 24 and the city for 29. I think the 6 meeples versus 2 is definitely going to be making a dent on that. I want to say momentary point lead of Vapula. So we do see a 9-point field being taken, and actually a nice move. Yeah, I was about to say nice move would have been right this indeed. So it protects this city over here if it is possible to be completed, and it is. There are still actually all 3 daggers to fit into this square. So actually, in all likelihood, this city, this field will be 12 points for one meeple, which is well worth an investment. And now, do we try to threaten the completion? I mean, we still could. We still could go over here and not even meeple this city cap, because we kind of want to also keep the meeple for this one, I guess. And maybe for some road ends that might still be in the deck. Yeah, this one, I mean, if you're gonna leave city caps lying around, then why not just take the 1 point over here and like at least try to threaten the completion of the city. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like we are simply just like not proceeding with this city at all for some reason, even though we could. We very well could do that, and I'm not liking it. So a curve for Rafael. Do we just add a point or do this? Oh wait, that seems to be actually pretty good. There's 1, 2, 3. There are no city crossroads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there are no starting tiles and there are no daggers. So this is actually a full block in a sense that there are at least no city caps to go here. This is very nice spot, a very nice observation for Rafael. Well, there are road Doritos though, so the city is still live, but not that easily completable. So Sportr trying to use his surplus of extra meeples as best as he possibly can. And now we are slowly inching towards the city completion. Or are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are no field Doritos though. And there are no dividers. Is there actually anything we can like truly use to finish the city? I don't think there actually is. Well, actually there are triple cities which we can use to go either here with, like one here and another one here and then a city cap. But we are not really getting those. We could take a 7-point monastery. With 9 tiles, is there all that much that we could otherwise use the meeple for? I doubt that. Also, we are minus 30 on the scoreboard. 31, 35, 41, 43, 49. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 42, 26, 23, 17, 8. Minus 8. And minus 2 meeples. Yikes. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad indeed. Well, not entirely convinced. Like this was just a 3-point move. Like if you're gonna do this, then like just take the city points, for 4, because you make the city anyway on the opponent's field. Like that's basically it. Like minus 2 points, but you still have an extra meeple because this field cannot grow. So you just invested a meeple for 2 points, and that is not that good of a value. Uh, well, you know what? Vapula could have actually done something very, very resourceful. So he could have actually gone over here, add a point to the road and to a monastery, and then try to get his hands on the one final remaining dagger. Then go over here and then get this cow tile and actually finish this city. Which, I'm telling you, it would have been really, it would have been truly resourceful. Now we just go over here and we add 2 points to ourselves. Or we do something better, like this. Which actually, was it 50-50? Oh, never mind. Because there's 1, there's 2, and there is the third dagger also. So yeah, never mind. This would not have worked. The thing that I suggested. It would have been actually potentially horrendous, even though it would, get us 2 points. But a nice spotting by Rafael on the final tiles. So noticed that there was still a city cap left in the deck and prevented the completion. So, still a 7-point move for Ricardo, but without this would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 points. So basically saved 3 points there because the alternative was that we go over here for 2 points. A rather convincing first game for Ricardo. Puts the first game point on the scoreboard. And let's take a quick look at all the other tables that are ongoing. So we have so far on table 1, we have Paulo Livreiro beating Lidio Gutierrez on the first game, as well as Guilherme Neves defeating Elias Mochan on the first game as well. So we have 0-1s so far only for Portugal. So good stuff for the Portugal fans. Then let's take a look at how table 2 is doing currently. Well, manarori has been able to take a game away from David Ventura already 10 minutes ago, actually. So there is indeed a life for the Mexican fans as well. Let's take a look at their second game, which is only 6 tiles away from being completed. And if this goes into a decider, we will then follow that decider. But so far, Marco Rivas seems to be striking as he is 23 points ahead on the scoreboard. We have a shared feature over here. Well, basically shared because they are both 4 points. Then plus 27, 29, 21, 27. And then we have 1, 2, and 1, 2. So a shared field, and now Marco uses his final meeple to attack it. Are there curves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No curves remaining, which means that this meeple is dead. And if Marco simply gets this meeple onto the field, it is going to be absolutely game over. He will take a very comfortable win here. And Mestre does get at least a temporary block on the connection, but will he be able to actually get a connection onto the city? And he will not. Also, knowing this tile, I reckon it was going to be better for him, for Mestre to actually go like even over here and drop a farmer either on this side or on this side. Actually, on this side would have been more accurate. Yep. Because then, or was it gonna be? Not maybe not necessarily. Let me think about this. So a field Dorito, but if it goes over here, but manarori will never place this over here. Yeah, never mind. It was actually better to maybe do even nothing. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, even tying the field would not have been enough for Mestre in this case. So Marco taking quite a big lead here on the second game, or well, not even a lead at this point, just a win, and taking a 2-0 win on table 2, which should be putting smiles on the Mexican fans, as Mexico is the first one on the match scoreboard. And then we shall take a look at how table number 5 is doing, because we don't have any updates on that yet. So let's get some updates with Pedro Antunes being able to get a 1-0 lead against Oscar Henny. And so far that table also going the Portuguese way. So despite being 1-0 behind on the match scoreboard, Portugal is doing very, very well. Basically having the match ball on 4 tables. So let's see if that match ball is going to do anything for Pedro. We have a big field seemingly forming up. Both players with 2 juicy monasteries. Arguably phoam with a bit juicier monasteries than Oscar here, because they both require only 1 tile to be completed and are really not in any kind of danger of getting blocked, whereas these ones still need to figure out how to get away from this double missing tile figuration here, because this is actually not really difficult to actually successfully complete, because any tile you put here, it will automatically place a blocking opportunity for your opponent on this square, and vice versa. If you place anything over here, it's going to mess up with this square. Even if it would be a monastery, then depending on the type of monastery, this square can be restricted to the other type, or to that same type of monastery, because there's 1 regular and 1 road monastery remaining. So this is going to be a real pain for Oscar to somehow shingle and mingle his way out of. I'm not sure how he's going to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. So IMD, I reckon just 2 points. No, looks all right. Also, oh, okay, being a little greedy, but at the right time, it seems, as Pedro had the straight road in hand and was looking to liberate his meeple, and most likely also meeple a 4-point road, but now cannot be done. Instead, he will be trying to block this square to the one remaining field crossroad. But not with this tile. Before that, we have to either go here or here, and which one is it? Honestly, I think we go over here. Simply because it is, 2 more points. Well, actually, as a matter of fact, only 1 more point. Well, for the city, but it does create 3 points for the field. On the other hand, this is on our field. Wow. That's kind of bold. So Pedro really looking to push for this main field here. But the issue here is that this square could actually be easily restricted, or not the square really, but this farmer can easily get restricted, like a field Dorito over here or a cow, and then you somehow have to wiggle with this farmer all the way like to here, which is gonna be quite a pain possibly. Okay, so Oscar giving some restrictions on this city of Pedro, and also actually quite resourcefully here. He is now preparing to find a tile on either of these squares, and then, well, ideally actually on this square, and then he's going to be making it harder for Pedro to finish the block on this square afterwards. But actually finding a tile on this square or on this square, it's not going to be enough, as Oscar will still have to find a vanilla on this square as well, which there are now only 2 remaining. And also the tiles on these squares are seemingly running lower and lower as Pedro keeps getting them. So do we go here and restrict this city to the 2 remaining daggers? Or do we wait? What do we do? Because I don't think that Oscar really wants to wait until Pedro gets a curve, places it over here, and makes a 5-point loop, or a 6-point loop, or a 5-point road, whatever. And I imagine this one is gonna come, no? But it will block this meeple away from all of the action, which is also not really what phoam wants. So maybe it is an idea to simply go over here. Why not? Because our end goal for this farmer is to get it onto the main field, because here it's really doing nothing. It controls a 3-point field, which is total garbage. But he does go for the direct save. Okay, sure. So now we have a curve as Oscar, and now do we go over here? Do we go there and restrict our monasteries to the 1 remaining road monastery? But if we don't do that, what else we do? Because we already need the vanillas over here, And so whatever we find over here, it's either going to be, we really only going to have one, yeah, one tile to fit onto this square anyway. Whether it would then be a vanilla, because we need the other one over here, a road monastery, or a regular monastery. We will only ever have like one tile to fit into the square. Though this will do. No! Oh yes, because it was Pedro's tile. I was about to say that if if Oscar was about to get a field Dorito, it would have been absolutely lovely tile to go over here with and block off this farmer to oblivion, and then try to get your hands on the two remaining uh, vanillas to liberate the monasteries, and also to maybe even take control of this 9-point farmer, expand your field by 6 points, and just overrun the fields. But first we have to actually get the field Doritos as Oscar. Three points is what Oscar takes with the city crossroad, and leaves an empty city cap, which immediately goes into use for Pedro. And now we do get it. So now I think this is the best course of action, because we block this guy from absolutely doing anything during this entire game. It will be restricted to that 3-pointer. And even though we restrict ourselves to the two remaining vanillas, it's going to be actually the best that we can do. That is what we do. And yikes. Well, unfortunately, the plan doesn't really work. But I think this was still the best that we could have done. Because imagine like a curve going over here. First of all, we still have only one out, right? But secondly, we are also like inviting our opponent to attack and get both of these farmers to the main field. Same really with the regular monastery, because then actually only a road monastery would be going over here, because we would not be able to use a vanilla. I mean, this is all kind of complicated to explain, but well, the base idea is that I think Oscar did the best. Well, Pedro is still plus 11. He is attacking the city here and trying to finish another one. And so 14 points in the monasteries of Oscar, and controlling 15, well, basically 21 points with fields as of right now versus 12. It's actually going to be interesting to see that if Oscar gets the one remaining vanilla, does he go over here or does he go over here? This is straight up 9 points. This is 9 away plus another 6, so 15. This is 17 points actually, but it does come with the possibility of maybe finding even a second meeple to the field somehow, and then we could potentially lose this field, or not lose, but end up tying it with Pedro, which also wouldn't be that great, because the field is like the only thing that keeps us alive at the moment. So if we get that vanilla as like the final tile of the game, that would be like super ideal, because then we can go over here and get those 17 points and, like truly maximize our point gain from that tile. Maybe even with a farmer, not a farmer, but maybe even with the 2-point city people here. So 19 points to like really be efficient with that. Though actually, if you have one meeple in your hand at that moment, you should have actually most likely used it anyway. So let's call it 17. Okay. Plus 11, 16, 19, 24, 33, 34, 36, 27, 13, plus 2. Technically plus 8. So plus 8 for Oscar. So at the moment it's actually pretty decent so far. And Pedro does get the final field crossroad, so could be taking 2 points and giving a meeple back to both players, but I don't think it's what he wants to do. Could go over here, and it's an 8-point move. Though, actually, I think Pedro wants to delay this move up until the point that he knows the fates of the dagger. Oh, not the dagger, but the vanilla. Because if the vanilla comes and this guy doesn't get in, then going over here is just simply going to be benefiting Pedro. So that'll be exciting to see. Guess we go over here now to try and save the connection, because there are still 2 triple cities with a road, and we do. It's still gonna be 6, 10, 11 point move with the triple city with the road. Well, we can certainly go over here, right? Because there is that vanilla remaining, and maybe there is also a tube divider. There's 1, there's 2, and there is no 3. So this will give us 2 tiles to finish the city. And oh no 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 nah. Wait. What? That that makes absolutely no sense though. Because look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 field Doritos gone. And there is 1 divider remaining, which is what Pedro is trying to get into this square. But that means that he has 1 city cap that he can use to finish his city. But if he goes here and also takes 1 more point, by the way, then he has 2 tiles to finish the city. Like this makes 0 sense. Why would he take less points and have less tiles to finish his features? This is just a mistake, like a pure mistake. Because it's not like his intention was to even drop a farmer here. As we can see, he doesn't drop a farmer. I really don't get this move. Not a good one, at least in my opinion. IMD, what do you do? Oscar actually also has to be careful with this connection here, but he does finally go for the connection. So he is preparing to get the vanilla and to try and maximize the points from it. And now we take just 3 points, really. Yeah, doesn't really matter from where, I guess. Well, certainly not from here really, because that just creates unnecessary field connections. So there is a divider, there is a tube divider, there's a vanilla, and there is a road monastery remaining. That's 4 tiles. There is no crossroads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No triple cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are road Doritos. 1, 2. 2 road Doritos. That is 6 tiles. Then I guess just like straight roads and curves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like one curve. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No straight roads actually. Well, this is certainly a splendid tile for us. So we do get the only tile that fits into this square for foam, and this is why also we should have gone with the triple city over here to have more than one tile to finish the city. And we take 4 points, so just a very natural move. And the vanilla is still in the deck. Still in the deck. There is no starting tiles. Maybe a city crossroad actually. There is a city crossroad. So there are actually a lot of city caps, like at least 3 city caps remaining in the deck. Which makes me think that maybe foam should. I mean, should you go here? Take the city. Should you go here actually? This would be kind of neat. So like going over here, pointing to the left and not me pulling, maybe. Or just, at one point. I guess that's also always an option. Depends on how far behind we are, because I feel like we are behind as Pedro. 7, 10, 13, 16, 21, 30, 32, 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we are +1 thanks to this connection to this city. So we are +1. So the game is going to be really decided by that by that vanilla, which is going to be worth a ton of points for, well, sort of for both players. And if Oscar gets it, he's going to win on the spot. But if he doesn't get it, he actually might still win. Yeah, so we see that so the plan that I said is going to go to fruition, and Pedro does get the critical tile, the critical vanilla. Is going to be adding 1 point to himself, either by taking a city over here or just by adding a point to his city, whichever pleases him the most. And actually, I guess taking these points here is a bit more accurate, because there is still the city crossroad. So taking the points over here is going to prevent IMD from getting 7 points instead of 6 points over here. So we are still +1. Not much. So I think we just changed the critical tile of the game. So now it's no longer this, but the city crossroad, which is getting drawn by Oscar, who takes 6 points and is going to be uh, moving into the lead by, I think, 4 points. And then there's going to be a 6-point field that is going to get taken by phoam, most likely. And then IMD going to be taking whatever points he can, which will almost always be enough. Or do you, as phoam, do you go? I mean, but you have to take the field, right? Even though it just pains to lose the 2 points from this. Because otherwise, Oscar is going to be taking these 6 points. Oh no, he actually won't. He's going to take. He would have taken the 7 points for the monastery. Or would he? No, I think he would have taken the field points anyway, because then by taking the 6 field points, then you leave a less for Pedro to take on their final turn. That is some precise stuff that you gotta know on this level. So +4, +5, I guess. So I'm going to say officially the educated final uh, more or less accurate guess is +5 for Oscar at the end of the point calculation. Maybe correct, maybe not. But it was indeed quite a complicated game. And we see indeed that it formed up to be really difficult for Oscar to get progression going for the monasteries, and eventually he did not get that progression at all. Yeah, this is why I say a educated guess, because it's often not even correct. So 3 points is the final difference in favor of Oscar, with both players actually running very low on time here, 43 seconds versus 23 seconds. But the important thing is that we are gonna go to a decider on table 5, and we shall also update the situation with Lidio Gutierrez being able to go into a decider on table 1 against Paulo Livreiro. Then, of course, Margori was having won the table 2. And then we also have 2 other decisive wins with Ricardo Araujo taking a 2-0 win against Rafael Garibay, and Guilherme Neves also taking a 0-2 win against Elias Mochan, and Portugal moves into the lead of this match with 2 decider games, one on table 1 and one on table 5 going. We are gonna have a thriller end to this. And why don't we actually? Yeah, I think we'll stick with IMD and phoam, and see if the Mexican is going to be able to clutch this one out, or maybe the other way around. An early field for Pedro with 3 points and 2 city caps. Also, there has been some restriction going on from phoam's part, trying to kill off this monastery, but it has been saved by Oscar. And I guess we are gonna have just a normal continuation move, and we do, uh, forming a new monastery spot next to the original one, which is really no concern to phoam, as it is, first of all, this spot is blockable, and there is also a 5-point spot waiting for Pedro with his own monastery eventually. This, oh no, surely not. Wow, this is, I want to say, like really courageous, dropping a farmer so far like back. Because first of all, like this square can get blocked with like a cow over here, and also like you can see, Pedro is simply going to be equalizing that farmer immediately. So I'm not entirely convinced of the return of on the return on investment for this meeple here. Rather courageous. Phoam with a straight road could actually take just a 6-point loop road here. Doesn't look like a bad option. But this, nah, it's just too passive. Just too passive. Don't like it. Oscar, in the meanwhile, does not back away from 6-point roads and does indeed take it, whilst Phoam tries to, well, does break the rather easy loop, but adds 1 point to the road, and now this forms up to be a road monastery square, which is also, I reckon, perfectly fine with Oscar. However, he has a clunky tile. There aren't really any great spots to start new cities from with this tile. I guess maybe here, but then that creates a new field, and I'm not sure if I would be wanting to make another field if I'm Oscar. Maybe over here, starting a new city away from every field doesn't feel like that bad of an idea. Or maybe going over here and preparing a 6-point city for yourself, because you need that. Uh, you're gonna need the square if you want this city getting out ever. But then maybe it's not really worth doing before you have first secured this square. Yeah, it's really, I mean, the tile itself is really great, but just the timing is pretty horrendous. Hmm. The timing is pretty horrendous. I guess also like an extra reason to not make this move over here and to create another field is that you first want to have security on your meeples getting out before you start making additional fields, so that you will not be risking of losing those also, like you are currently risking of losing this. Though it's only 9 points, like this is like survivable. Oh, okay, okay, that's doable. I can respect that. So doing the pre-city move, but also people in the city, given that there are still all 3 daggers remaining, and now stacking even more value on that dagger. Well, firstly, because he can take the road, but also maybe now I'm wondering who will be the first one on this left field, because this one will undoubtedly be actually even more lucrative than this 9-point field. Because you can see one city, 2 cities, 3 cities, 4 cities, maybe 5. Like you see, even though it doesn't look like, even though it doesn't look that great right now, it's not to say that it won't look really great later. A monastery for Pedro, and also me pulls it in a 4-point spot, controlling the road of Oscar, and Oscar gets away with the road immediately, which is nice for him. Also gets an additional 2 points. It's a like if you look at the situation, it kind of looks like it's like at the same time, like also kinda closed, but also like really open, which sounds really confusing, I know, but I mean, in my head, it makes completely total sense. Okay, good move by Pedro. So trying to actually create a loop over here and make use out of this 9-point field and try to reach it all the way to the left with the with 2 more additional curves. Not liking this move. Not liking this move at all from Pedro. Directing the city downwards instead of having the same value city, but like unrestricted. Like Pedro could have so easily gone like over here, right? Point upwards, and then maybe with a straight road here, and then limit this city to a dagger, which is already needed over here. And so now the field gets taken by phoam, and I reckon Oscar will be taking the city with the 2 juicy shields on it. I actually would be very surprised if he would not, and he does. Regular move for Pedro, I assume. Just trying to get away with the city. Can't really blame him for trying. And do we want to be extra greedy as Oscar and go over here? I think we do. I think we do. Or do we? I think we do, because we can get this one out really, because we can get this road out really easily, and we don't actually like truly need a meeple for much stuff, right? Like we don't actually need it because we can't really meeple monasteries anyway. Like all the tiles that we are losing value on are like road ends like this, and then maybe triple cities with a road that we would not be able to take 2 pointers. But like that's about it. Like really not much value that we are losing. A triple city for Oscar. Do we go over here? Normal move. Threaten the future completion of the city, or do we go here? And Oscar decides that this is the way to go, which does mess with the completion of the city. However, it does give away a shielded tile. So, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But for now, the plan is working. And it is hindering the completion chances of the city. And it will do that even more when we go over here and finish our road. This is not even like that dangerous of a block. There are still 2 triple cities to go here. However, this city will be in all likelihood on Pedro's field, because a curve will go over here and it will be worth 3 points. Or there will not be a curve, and instead Oscar should actually really wait. Um, it might actually not be that bad. So first of all, I mean, this is of course like the more immediate points on the scoreboard, but I think Phoam just has like too much value for his for this future city over here when he just takes 3 points over here, expands the field, adds another city cap, and then actually Oscar has a problem still with this one meeple, which is not really worth anything, like even at this stage, and he might be even forced to connect this way, which is also not ideal because it takes 2 tiles instead of 1. One starting tile, which there are indeed only 1 remaining. We can also see that Oscar has been avoiding of using the curve on this square, and as a result still hasn't gotten his monastery meeple out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there are still 3 curves remaining, so that's something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are 2 horses, 1 cow, and the quad city remaining. So how do you actually handle this one? Oscar decides that he's gonna go for this semi-save like this with the field side down, and I think I have to agree with him. Looking good. Also, this is a very, very strong move by Pedro actually here. So not only, well, he takes the 2 points from the only possible spot really, but also look at this field. 12 points, and Oscar has like really no way to attack it, because first of all, this meeple is like total garbage, or at least in a total garbage position, and a second meeple might be going from Pedro to this field via the curve, and even adds a third one just to be sure. But I mean, actually, when you look at the situation, the scoreboard is equal, but all the fields belong to Pedro, both the left and the right, which are now currently scoring 24 points more than Black's fields. Well, Black really having only this 3-point field, negated by this one. But Oscar is gonna be needing his triple cities to come very, very soon if he wants to have a chance in this game. The good thing is that there is indeed still a divider remaining in the deck, I believe. So in case Oscar gets the quad city, which actually I don't think the quad city exists. No, no, the quad city does not exist. Uh, and I can tell you that without even looking at the logs, because Pedro has been here the starting player, and on his turn there was an equal amount of tiles in the deck, which means that one tile has been discarded, and by the looks of it, I doubt it has been any other tile but the quad city. So that means that this actually is totally blockable, this city, which is not great news for Oscar. He's gonna need that triple city to get really, really fast into his hand. Um, there is also another alternative. So we could, I guess, go over here, drop a farmer, and then connect through the road at the same time getting 5 points for the road, as well as claim these 9 field points, well, together with red, of course. But it does look like a decent plan. Or we just go for an 8-point city. So Oscar deems that there are enough, that there are indeed enough city caps for him to go for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 3 city caps remaining, and Oscar goes for a monastery. Understandable. Now, couple key tiles. This is one of the key tiles. So Oscar finally gets his triple city here, and just in time. So he will be able to use these 2 meeples in his hand still. So there is a starting tile. There is a divider. So this connection is still live. It's still live. What else is there? Also, how much are we behind? Plus 15, 21, 24, 30. Wait, 33. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are ahead. How? Wow, we are ahead. Well, phoam will be doing this move. Like for sure. Taking away 3 points from IMD and taking this potential 8-point city. Like surely Pedro goes for this. It's a really high scoring move. With 2 more city caps remaining in the deck. Yeah. Oscar gets the divider. With what he doesn't do all that much, just gonna be taking a 4-point city. And he's gonna pray that Pedro does not have a city cap in hand. If Pedro has, then I believe it's very much looking like GG's. So it is pretty much like a 50-50, I would say. Just depends on whether phoam has a city cap in hand or not. But I don't see much else for Oscar than going here for 4 points. Because then no matter what tile we get in the end, unless it is a monastery, which there still is one remaining. So a monastery and a city cap, no? But actually with the monastery is also a max of 4 points. So it doesn't really matter. So we should still actually just get the points for this. And yeah, that's it. That is the end of analogy. Should still get the points for the monastery. For the points for the city. 15, 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 equal 6. 12, 15, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are still plus 3 as Oscar. So wait. Plus 4. A city cap for 8 points for phoam puts him at plus 4. Oh, is this going to be a win by draw for Oscar? Oh, there's a 5-point spot. There's a 5-point spot. It won't even be a draw then. No? Don't count on my word. I have been wrong with the final point counts, but I do believe Oscar wins by 1 point. One point plus 34, 15, and by 1 point it is. So actually, if you take that into account, so this was 1 plus 5, so 6 versus 8, so minus 2, and we could actually afford minus 3 even. So if we take this city over here, then we get 4. Then if we get this, it's 4 plus 0 actually, versus 8. So minus 4. Wait, hold up, hold your horses. I would be really great at joking games, because if you just think for if you just think for a second of what I just suggested for Oscar to do, of taking this city, he would have lost. he would have actually lost, because then he would have gotten a total of 4 points instead of 6, and ended up with 97 and actually lost. Now this is very this is the key reason why you should always not even think about cheating through streams, because stuff like this can happen. Where I actually thought I was like giving like seriously good advice, but I was actually just trying to choke the game for Oscar. So it's indeed pretty good that Oscar does not cheat. It's confirmed. Oscar does not cheat. Oh, okay, but we still don't actually know the situation on table 1. we know that Oscar does get the second point for Mexico, but what is the verdict on table 2? That's what we want to know. It has definitely ended, and I regret to inform fans of Mexico that the table 1 has ended in favor of Portugal with... Nope, that's not right. With Paulo Livreiro taking a 2-1 win over Lidio Gutierrez. And well, I did say it at the start of the stream that we are expecting a close 3-2 match, and indeed a 3-2 match we got, which goes in favor of Portugal. And it is going to certainly help with their position on the in Group C, jumping from the currently on the last place to getting 1 win. Mexico so far, despite giving relentless effort of trying to make ends meet, has now taken their second loss again with a score of 2-3. First against Romania and now against Portugal. And like I'm telling you, this group, anyone can beat anyone. No, there are no 5-0 wins as of right now, and now already um, two matches with a result of 2-3, and 2 matches with a result of 1-4. And tomorrow, I reckon, will be no different when Romania meets Lithuania and Ukraine meets Thailand, and that will shape the board quite well. Either Ukraine or Thailand will be, I want to say, most likely in the lead by 2 wins. There is a chance that Romania gets a second win of their own, but that would also require some decent tiebreakers against, well, actually not decent, but great tiebreakers to give them the first spot of the group versus either Ukraine or Thailand. But we'll say that tomorrow when everything clashes. So you can see the tomorrow schedule. So actually at 1 a.m. UTC time, for those of you who are gonna be awake, it's Vietnam Argentina. It'll be streamed by Fausto Barral in Portuguese. Then we start on this channel the day with Australia China in Group A with at 10:30 UTC, continued with Romania Lithuania at 1300 UTC, followed by 15:30 UTC Ukraine Thailand, and ending the day tomorrow with Poland RCP at 1800 UTC. Other matches for those of you who are interested: Hungary, Hong Kong, also in Group A, streamed by Alexei. Then Italy, Uruguay at 1600 UTC, and Brazil, Spain, also tomorrow. So we have plenty of action all day long. So if you have any interest, then I'm sure you will be finding a decent match and stream to watch. Congratulations to Portugal for your well-deserved efforts, and for fans of Mexico, I certainly hope that you will not have to witness more gruesome 2 to 3 losses, but maybe rather wins on future weeks. Still going to be five. Sorry, not 5 duels, but 3 matches remaining for both of these countries. Well, actually, for everyone in the in Group C. For some countries, 4 matches. But anyways, and the final scoreboards and the group scoreboards are going to be shaping up a lot. That's where we are going to be wrapping up for today. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for sticking all the way until the end. If you do enjoy this type of Carcassonne content, then there is an easy way to support the channel by subscribing on it and liking the stream. I will be seeing you tomorrow with some more Carcassonne content in the form of the final day of week 2 of the group stage of the World Team Carcassonne Online Championships. Bye for now.